Hello, Oracles. Oracle Tim here from Oracle Investments. Sometimes the stock market gives us discounts that we just can't ignore. Now, it would be really nice if sometimes the stock market would give us discount windows like, hey, this is on sale for this month. But unfortunately, that is not how the stock market works. However, if you pay close enough attention to analysts that are out there, other people who are following the market, and those of us who are following Tesla, you'll be able to get yourself a little bit of a general window of when discounts are available. We are currently in one of those discount windows. And ways you can figure out whether we are in a discount window or not are take a look at the actual fundamentals of the company and the news that's coming out of there. Well, less than a week ago, we had our delivery and production report come out that just blew everybody's numbers out of the water. Even the most bullish people out there were surprised because the number was so high. We have had analysts all week long increasing price targets. Even the bears, everyone is increasing their price targets for Tesla. Minimum 10% across the board. So what is this telling you? This is telling you that the stock price is going to be going up in the long run. So if you see the stock price coming down in the short term, that means we're in a discount. Because remember, despite the fact that we have come down significantly from where we hit at around $1,200 earlier this week, nothing in the fundamentals has changed for Tesla at all. The entire drop that has happened has been a little bit of profit taking and macro environment news. That's it. The fundamentals of the company are still solid. The company is still looking to be producing 1.5 plus million vehicles over 2022. So all these price targets that all these analysts are coming out with are based off of these fundamental numbers out of Tesla. It has nothing to do with the macro environment. Now, if you take the macro environment into account and you say, you know what? We have a potential recession coming. What does that mean for the price target? Well, at that point, the price targets may come down for a 12-month period. However, if, and we believe that it is totally true here, that Tesla will be one of those companies that comes roaring out of this better than anyone else. So these price targets that you are seeing now will just be delayed slightly. So when you see a recession potentially coming, don't be afraid about these price targets now, because when we come out of it, they'll be one of the first companies to get back to these levels. And if we do not go into a recession, I believe that many of these analysts are going to be increasing their price targets as the year goes on. So if we're looking at like Mizuho yesterday, who just raised their price target from $950 to $1,300, that could be increasing over the course of the year. By the end of the year, they may be looking at $1,500. Gary Black just raised his to $1,600. He is one of the most bullish analysts out there, and he's very accurate. And actually, his EPS numbers are right in line with mine. And his price target at $1,600 might get increased to $1,750 by the end of the year. And many of you have been asking, what is a good entry point for Tesla? Is it good under $1,050? Is it good under $1,000? Do we wait for it to maybe get under $1,000? Here's my take on that. Ask yourself, are you going to be holding Tesla long term? If the answer is yes, ask yourself, how long? My hold is going to be for 10 years. Some people are holding for 5 and then waiting to see what happens to see if they want to hold it longer. So if that is the case, ask yourself, what do you think the Tesla price is going to be in 5 years? My base case price target in 5 years is just over $4,000. So ask yourself, we're at just over $1,000 right now. Do you think that a 4x return over the next 5 years is good? If you do think so, then buying right now, regardless of price, is the way to go. If you think that over the next 2 weeks we could see some more volatility and we could see the price come down to $1,000 or below, then maybe you wait. I cannot see the future. I do not know what is going to happen. I dollar cost average every day, and I add more when Tesla stock dips. That's the way I play it because I can't read the future. I don't know how it's going to go, and dollar cost averaging has done me very well with this stock. And because I am playing it for 10 years, I am going to do well in the long run. I recommend you guys do the same. I am not a financial advisor. However, dollar cost averaging has been proven to be the best way to improve your gains over the long run. The most important thing to do is if you are playing long term, you need to take your emotions out of it because there could be some short term pain. For instance, if you buy today, pre-market we're at about 1075. So if you buy today at 1075 and then over the next week, a lot of macro environment news comes out and the stock comes under $1,000, if you have now kept a little bit of money aside to be able to dollar cost average down, you're just going to have to ride that pain out. And most of the subscribers on here can attest to during the Elon sales, I will help walk you guys through that. I am the voice of reason. That's why I'm known as the Oracle, because I tell you what you need to hear. And I will help you go through this because it's definitely rough. I'm an emotional trader myself. And you see a lot of red in a stock that you have a lot of conviction in, and you start to get concerned. Totally normal, and that's fine. And so that's why you come on here, we talk it all out, we give you the reminders as to what the fundamentals are of Tesla and why it's going to do amazing in the future, and we just get through it. You know, not a big deal, but those are just some of the things you have to concern yourself with if you buy at prices right now and they go down. But at the same time, you could buy in at 1075 today. We could get some great news out of Giga Austin today, some great news out of Giga Berlin next week, and the stock can go up to $1,200 or new all-time highs. Then what do you do at that point? You know, then you're like, oh, now I have to wait for another opportunity for the stock price to come down, maybe. So that's why, for me, again, dollar cost averaging is the best way to go. Looking for entry points, you know, any price is the best price if you're playing it long-term, realistically. And so as far as I'm concerned, based on valuation and where I see the price going to be in the future, I'm considering this to be a fire sale. And if it drops down any more over the next week, even more of a fire sale. I added quite a bit of Tesla stock this week. I am now well over where I want it to be of 5 shares. And for me, that's 50% of my portfolio. 50%, which is significantly more than I ever thought I would be. But I gotta tell you, I'm looking at potentially hitting $1,400 to $1,500 by the time we run into Q4 earnings, and it'll look really pretty at that point. Again, I do feel that after Q4 earnings, if we hit those dollar amounts, the stock will sell off quite a bit. So we might go to like $1,500, then come down to the $1,200 range, and hopefully consolidate there for a while. Consolidation is always healthy for a stock. Tesla goes through that. It gives us a nice new foundation and solid area to be sitting at. So if we see this run up and then do a little sell-off, it's good. We want that. That is actually a good thing for the stock to do. So we'll see what happens over the next month. But for you guys who are looking for entry points, anytime over the next week I think is a great idea. Again, we don't know what news is going to be coming out of Austin or Berlin, so that could shoot the stock price up. Macro environment news could bring the stock price down. So if you have the opportunity to buy daily or weekly, I highly recommend that. Otherwise, anytime if you're playing long term, just buy in and hold. Let me know in the comments below. How long do you think this fire sale is going to last? And how much lower do you think it is going to go before we make the turn before Q4 earnings? Thank you all so much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. That's where I post all the latest news that I see as quickly as possible. So if we get news out of Austin or Berlin, I will share it there. Otherwise, thank you all so much. Have a great one.